What is up, my fellow fantasy football players? It is December 2nd, Thursday night football. We got Cowboys, we got Saints. It's gonna be a fun one. A lot of questionable things about the receivers. Uh, Obviously, Cramer is not playing, so yeah, I would definitely look into your lineup for that. But other than that, um, we are in the crunch time where you are now facing the end of the year season, or uh, maybe you're going to make some moves here pretty soon. If you're in Dynasty and if you have a trade deadline already and it's gone and past, shame on you. You need to talk to your commissioner and they need to up that to like week 14. Because with Dynasty, you shouldn't even have trade deadlines like as week 9, 10, or 11. Like there's no way. It's not redraft. It's not. It's a dynasty. You build to produce for the future years. I mean, this isn't like the actual NFL, but the only thing I do probably put a trade deadline is probably playoff time. But then there's some leagues that actually don't. So which kind of sucks because sometimes they're in the championship game and then there's a trade literally that happens right before the game or that week, and then it kind of like obscures the whole integrity of the entire league. But I typically like having it off. um I'll put the trade deadline up to, well, this year week 14. So uh I would have had it last year week 13 is what I did. So this year week 14, trade deadlines up to there, and then let the top dogs kind of roll, see who they get out of waivers. And then also what I do is the toilet bowl, which is essentially the last place guys, they're going to be fighting for last. And if so, it's a reverse bracket kind of thing. So the bottom 12 and 11 place will have a bye week. Yeah, it's weird. They'll have a bye week in the toilet bowl. And then so what it'll do, so those rank 3 through 6 will have to battle it out. So if you win, you don't advance. Uh you just stay there and you don't have to deal with the toilet bowl. But if you lose, you advance in the losers bracket, which is the toilet bowl. And then you have to play the rank 1 and 2 of the seeded area. And then from those 4 teams would be which would be this year 15. No, I'm sorry, 16. And then after that, the last final game would be the last two bottom seeded teams, week 17. So essentially, they're playing their playoff championship. Well, not really a championship, and then the loser bracket of that bowl. And then I have me and one of the league members, who's essentially my cousin. We made this giant 3 to 4 foot trophy looking thing with a toddler's toilet on it, the little plastic ones that you pick up for like $10 or 30, whatever it is. I got mine for 10 on, and it was just a little make flushing noise. We spray painted it, made it look like crap. It was definitely a big, bulky, annoying. I still have to get a picture of it. Well, I'll probably end up showing it here in the later shows as we go on to the fantasy playoffs. But it's huge. It's annoying. You really don't want this thing, and that's last place. So, but as for the winners, though, top 6 make it, and essentially, best of the best make it to last week. So, um, I typically like to have dynasty trades to up to week 14. Um, well, starting with this year. Last year was 13, as I said that before, but this year, 14 would be, so at essentially the end of Monday night football's 14th week would be the last day to make a trade. At literally at the last minute of that game is when you no longer can in sleeper app. So it's pretty interesting. But as of week 15, they're 16 and 17. They're on their own. They can still do waivers. But yeah, so that's what we do, and it should be fun. So as of today, I wasn't even sure if I was going to be on today, to be honest. I was going to plan on going out of town for a little bit, for like a day or two, go hiking for some resort or something, but that's not going to happen. I think I'm going to push that till tomorrow, and I'm here with you guys today. So just chatting football, whatever, during your lunch hour, on your lunch hour. If you're working, uh, Cool. If you're on your lunch break, that's even better. But hey, what's up? So, um, so I guess we should break into recent news. Recent news that just kind of broke up as of late. So Amari Cooper will play tonight. So out of his COVID absence for the last two games. So he's gonna be there. They're designating this as a limited volume play, which makes no sense to me because it's not like it's not like he's injured. I think what the thing is, the symptoms are still kind of going on. So I don't know. Like I don't think he is like essentially it's sick or it's spreading anymore. I think the fact that he's just not feeling well. This happened to Miles Garrett last season. He felt the repercussions after of being COVID contacted, and then he tested positive. He felt like his performance wasn't as well, and I think this is what's happening. But of course, I'm only going to see what um, uh, Mark's texting me right now. So, and then yeah, Braden, he died. I don't know what he's doing right now. Give him a call. Get him on right now. But 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 so freaking Mark, if you're listening, just jump on. Um, so where was I? So I think that's what's happening with Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper right now is probably feeling the backlash of the symptoms from the COVID. I think that's what's going on. They're saying they're limiting him. So that's what my prediction is. Only because I'm thinking that that's probably what's happening. People can fight COVID differently, and some harder than others, and some better than others. But then other than that, though, um, let's see. Uh, I think that the biggest recent news also Miles Sanders is also predicting to play right now. He's saying he's good to play. I mean this good. There's no Jordan Howard, no Boston Scott showed up to practice today, so this could be a big game. Now his ankle, I still think they're monitoring. Apparently he practiced today, so if you went out and got a running back, I'd still stash him just because you planned on playing him. Keep him on your bench, or even playing if you feel good about your lineup. Maybe you could stack him with your QB or something like that. But I think that um, I might think about playing Miles Sanders. It's a pretty good matchup. Let's put up the schedule here right now as Mark wakes up and jumps on wherever you're at. But yeah, so let's see. Philadelphia's gotten the Jets. So, I mean, if you ask me, that's pretty good. I think that's a good. They seem to let running backs just fly through everywhere in their line. They running up the middle is a little bit harder for running backs, but I think on the outside they just bounce out and they gain a couple of yards there and there. So I think Miles Sanders might have a good game. I'm hoping he does. If Jalen Hurts doesn't take it from him, I think Miles Sanders will hopefully have a good game. It's been frustrating. Miles Sanders owners, I know it's been frustrating. I currently fall under that. It's Nick Sirianni, I think, is the main issue. He is not playing his best running back. And then when they finally decide to run, Miles Sanders is hurt. So and then they had a plethora of running backs. So look, I don't know what's going on, but I think hopefully this could be a bounce back game. So other than that, though, let's see. We got a comment here. So, Ingram or Gaskin. So I kind of like what Gaskin's been doing lately. Gaskin's got New York Giants, and then Ingram is playing that hard Dallas D. Yes, as I say hard, I think that they have been producing. DeMarcus Lawrence is back. They're saying he's playing today. So what does that mean for Ingram? There's going to be another eligible DN there at the line, which means Micah Parsons is going to move back to his original spot here at linebacker today. He's been doing fine. So even if Micah Parsons was at D end, I still think it's going to disrupt what they're going to do with the run game. And so I would put Gaskin there against the Giants rather than Ingram today, even though he might get the workload as of far because Kamara's not playing. So it's kind of like flipping the coin here. But if in that situation, I think I would put Gaskin over Ingram. That's just how I feel about it. But again, let's see. So as of now, let's see the New York Giants. So they're kind of ranked. Where are they at? Like 14th or something like that when it comes to the run game or something like that. So let's see here. I think they're like ranked 14th or something like middle tiered or something like that. But yeah, I'd still play Gaskin. That's just how I feel about it. You could choose you want. So Swift is expecting to be out. Yes, yeah, very much so. Um, I don't think they're gonna play now. What we're all waiting for is for them to sleeper or any of your format is to give the designation of out so we can make some lineups because that is what's bugging me as of now too. So I'm trying to make some moves here, but I can't make any moves if these apps aren't actually designating them out because we knew this after legitly like the first game. Like, oh yeah, and yesterday Dan Campbell was like, oh yeah, we're not planning on playing him. You get the workload from Williams. So uh yes, I wasn't expecting him this week either, which sucks because he's doing fantastic. Um, but yeah, so anyways, we have the opener today with the Dallas Cowboys at 7-4, with the Saints at 5-6. It should be a good one. Even the absence of Cramer, I still think it's going to be good. Am I picking the Dallas Cowboys for this game? Yes. Despite of what happened last week, I still think the Dallas Cowboys can pull it. Yeah, they lost to the Raiders. Raiders are very underrated, in my opinion. I think they're a lot better than what people expect them to be. So speaking of the Raiders, they got the Washington. I still think that the Vegas Raiders might actually beat them. I think that was going to be close. Why? Uh, as Mark was saying yesterday, um, his team, he's Washington. So he watches all the Washington games. They stopped the GOAT. So Carr is no GOAT. So there's a difference between the Bucks and the Raiders, and if Washington's defense is starting to finally wake up, and this happens, defenses just take a time. I don't know. This happens. Like defense just take time off and or whatever they're doing, they're just not playing their best ability, and then all of a sudden they're like kings of defense. So this could potentially be that time. They did it against the Bucks. They stopped Brady. But yeah, that was a good game actually. So that one I expect to be very close. I hope, because I love close games. I love those cringing games where you're like, oh man, who's gonna win? Especially if you do DFS. Holy crap! So, all right. So Tank, what's up? So I didn't say hi to you anyways, but I know you're usually on anyways. So Pollard or CEH. So Pollard, obviously, we know is playing Saints today, and then CH is he didn't do bad. I guess the Broncos. I mean, their defense is really good too. I would expect maybe Pollard to do better. I think they're utilizing him more. Now, CH is probably the go-to running back there. That's going to be a good one. And then you're in that contemplation if you put Pollard and he sucks, and then CH does better on a Sunday, because then that's what sucks about these Thursday games. They're locked in. And by the way, a Thursday game, if you're playing anybody Thursday, put them in the actual spot. Don't put them in the flex. Okay. We tend to forget that. And then your flex is out of the option. Then you're stuck with moving positional players, so you can't just throw someone in there. So be sure you put, if you're playing someone today, put them in their actual designated positional spots. Um, but I'm gonna go Tony Pollard, and I know people might argue go CEH, but I still think that Tony Pollard is more. I think he's being utilized more, and we might see the new era of Pollard coming in with with Zeke slowly weeding out as the years come by. I'm not saying this season. I'm just saying like potentially Pollard might be getting a little bit more work as for dynasty purposes. You definitely want to keep Pollard as of now. All right, so Tank says I'm playing Mark, and if I lose again by 1 or 2 points, I'm going to lose it, and I'm projected to lose by 4 points. You don't ever pay attention to projections. Yeah, projections are crap. Sometimes some guys will just go off, and when you just change the projections by like that, like in a snap, so I wouldn't worry about that at all. And that's how it's in most cases projections are crap. Uh, People tend to like that and then feel. I mean, what projections are basically makes you feel a little bit better about yourself that you might have a good chance to win. I think I was projected to win by like 73% against like, you know, my opponent, uh, who didn't look like they were gonna have a bang of a game, and then all of a sudden I just lost. I just completely lost it. So, um, but I still think that tonight they'll utilize him. So, and but the Saints D is ranked number 1 against the run though. Yeah, but I still think that Pollard still has a big enough workload. And like I said, people are probably going to argue with me saying that CEH is better um, in this moment. But I mean, Denver is a solid defense as well. Uh, they're overall rounded. So either way, you can go with CH or Pollard. I think. I mean, you could lean CEH, and I don't think I'll be too upset about that. And if you go to Pollard, I don't think I'd be too upset about that either. So, um, but with Zeke getting banged up last week, I think, or the week before that, I mean, he's still kind of dealing with it. I think they gave him a little bit of rest in practice, but I'm going Pollard, especially on returns. He might score again. Yeah, potentially. So I'm going Pollard, but a lot of people might go CEH over Pollard this week, and I'm okay with that too, just because he's been off for a couple weeks. Well, not essentially his fault due to injury, but his body's a little bit more fresh, like besides the injury. So, anyways, so I don't think Mark's coming on. It's already been 22 minutes, so if he didn't get the notification that we're on, I told him we're doing it today. So, wherever Mark, it's cool. No hard feelings. So, Indianapolis and the Texans, I definitely expect Indy doing well there. Texans, like it's no, they're just not they're not there. I think you know what Bill O'Brien did, and this we'll go back to then. Uh, you know, when you leave your job with a bang, that's what he did. Oh, he took them down. He took them down with him, and he messed them up for years. He traded away draft picks. He gave away their best players. Yeah, Houston is in a dire need of help, and we're gonna see them be at the bottom for a couple of seasons here. I definitely will expect that to be. I mean, right now they're projected to go second overall behind the Lions, um, sitting at 10-1, where these guys are 2-9. So definitely, I mean, fantasy purposes, I think if you're really hurting, Tyrod Taylor might be okay, but I wouldn't say this week. Brandon Cooks potentially probably be the only person you're playing. I don't think that somehow, some way they defensive just like we all know this. Like Brandon Cooks is the only weapon there, so why can't they just Belichick it and just cancel him out? I don't. He still produces. I don't understand this either. So, you would think your best player just what are they going to do if Brandon Cooks is not there? Like, what would the Texans be if Brandon Cooks wasn't there this season? They'd be sitting at 0-11 probably, or 0-10 and or 0-9 or crap. I can't even add it right now. 0-11, uh, maybe 1-10 is what I meant to say. So behind lines at 0-10-1. So I don't know. But Brandon Cooks seems to be legit on the only person you want on your lineup anyway. So so Philly and the Jets. There's some crazy things going on with Jalen Hurts. He did not perform last week. Hopefully this is his bounce back week. I really hope so. he looked good, last couple weeks for like he had his little run. Is Jalen Hurts going to get benched? I don't think so this season. I think after what he did in recent performance, except for last week, minus last week, I think he's there solid to stay. I do see him staying in Philly for a while. I don't think that the trade rumors will come back. But then again, a couple weeks go by and then people give up on these guys. Like, look at Sam Darnold. He was hot fire at the beginning of the season and then went on a losing streak, and now he is just a ghost. Like, he's literally seeing himself. So, anyways, but yeah, I don't know, but that could easily be seen. But I still think Jalen Hurts is still pretty good. Um, as for the Jets, Ty Johnson is going to be the go-to guy. Michael Carter might actually, I don't think he's playing right now. I think he's actually hurt. So, but I know that Ty Johnson is going to be the key guy there. Other than that, though, Braden, I'm sure you're probably looking this up, but anyways, because why, you have Michael Carter yourself. So, but so, in other news, I think I mentioned I forgot to mention this earlier, but Darren Waller's not playing this week. If you haven't noticed that already, Foster Monroe is probably the guy you want to pick up if he's still there. Pick him up. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Brady. Thank you. Yeah. So like I said, Ty Johnson. But yeah, Foster Monroe, he's going to be the tight end there, and he's good. I have no problem with him. Every single time he needs to put in that position, he performs. If Darren Waller goes down, Foster Monroe comes in and does the exact same. So they have good two tight ends. They should start running more double tight, in my opinion. But hey, that's Raiders have been struggling this season with lost players, lost coaches, and lost everything due to injuries and saying whatnot. All right, so the next game I'm talking about is Buccaneers in Atlanta. We're not really talking. I'm not going to talk about that much because I expect great things from the Bucs. Start all your Bucs. Why not? As for Atlanta, I think Kyle Pitts might actually struggle this game. Even despite of what happened to Washington last season, but that's not Washington. This is the Falcons, so a totally different team. I hopefully we might see some production, but I do expect Kyle Pitts. He might actually get stopped this game. He hasn't been great. Like, for a rookie, he's been fantastic. Okay, so but so okay, there we go. My bad. So I there we go. Turn that off. All right. So for Kyle Pitts, he might be the only weapon there. I mean, they've been hurting left and right. Cordell Patterson been in and out of injury, and then they lost the loss of Calvin Ridley. I'm wondering what's going to happen to this team in the future. Like, they're going to have to draft a running back or QB next season. Some O line. Like, I said this before. They're in denial. They really are. They're in denial that they need to rebuild. They should have traded Julio 2 seasons ago, and they probably got more out of him. Matt Ryan, they should have traded him as well, but they're stuck with him because they just signed for that big bonus, and now he's basically going to ride out his contract. I think it's like 30 million or something to get rid of him. There's no way they're going to be able to do that. But yeah, again, I can't. Don't quote me on that either. So I have to look into that. But as of now, it's going to be really tough for them for the future, and I might be looking at a handful of years that I'm just going to be like, well, it is what it is. Am I still faithful to them? Yeah, I am. But it's all good. So what's up? So I have Traquan Smith, and I'm tempted to start him over Brandon Cooks, but I also Van Jefferson and Waddle. So Traquan Smith, I don't know if that's a good idea. So with them, Taysom Hill's going to start, right? So I don't think that you're going to want to put let's see, because you got Harris is still playing too, so he's still healthy. And then you got Marcus Callaway and Juwan Johnson, who's not really doing much either. But I don't know if you should, if that's, I wouldn't start him over Brandon Cooks. Van Jefferson could be a solid start against Jacksonville. I like that. But I don't think I would put Traquan Smith against that Dallas D. Trayvon Diggs is going to be all over him. So, in my opinion, I think Van Jefferson might be a better bet just because Jaguars really definitely can't stop anything. Um, but then Waddle is not a bad an option against New York Giants, but I think that they're a little bit better at defensively. The DBs there are a little bit better than Jacksonville's DBs. Of those four, um, yeah, I believe I would Van Jefferson, Brandon Cooks, and then Waddle in that ranking. Traquan Smith, I would not. Now, if you put him in and he explodes, good for you. If not, then you basically screwed yourself there at the wide receiver position. But essentially, I'm just giving you what I think I would put Van Jefferson there. They put him at the slot, so I think this is why he's getting more work done. People were a little bit worried about OBJ coming in, but yeah, Woods is out, but then it would essentially stay the same. But they put him more at the slot, so I think he's getting actually that production there. So and Cooper Cup's Cooper Cup. Like there's no denying that. So, and Tyler Higbee fans, I'm sorry, I'm one of them. They're just not looking his way. He is out there, and he's just an extra O line. That's pretty much all he is. He's a distraction. Honestly, there'll be some key games where like, oh, he should explode. This game, he scores a touchdown once in a blue moon, and we're happy with our tight ends barely getting like some yards. Like I'd be happy with 50 yards if my tight end got 50 yards. That's 5 points, maybe 3 catches. If PPR league would be 8 points. Like that's how crap the tight end position sucks. So all right, so Cam, Fournette, Henderson, and Mahomes for Cousins, Lamb, and Najee Harris. Who wins? Ooh. Now let me think about this. Now, if this is Dynasty, I like the Lamb and Najee Harris. And honestly, if this was redraft, if this was redraft, I would keep Fournette, Henderson, and Mahomes. But if this is Dynasty, I think you can easily. If this is Dynasty, I would definitely smash yes. Get yourself Lamb and Najee. Even though Cousins isn't as good for Mahomes, but Cousins, like I'm hoping you have a better QB. Even if Dynasty, so if it's Dynasty, you circle back around, you could probably get Malik Willis out of freaking Ole Miss. I think, right? Am I got that right? We'll jump into these Dynasty QBs here in a sec. These next coming weeks. But as of now, I think let's see QB positions. If this is Dynasty, yeah. I'm sorry, Matt. I got Matt Corral out of Ole Miss. Malik Willis is actually out of Liberty, but he's pretty good. And then Kenny Pickett out of Pittsburgh. So and Sam Howell's out of North Carolina. So these new upcoming QBs, if you want, you can get one in your rookie draft. But if this is redraft, I wouldn't do it. Fournette is probably going to be your league winner right now, as long as he stays healthy. Henderson, I know he might have had that hamstring, but even if he sits out this week, he'll be back eventually and produce the points that you've been getting all season. He's been kind of that quiet ninja. We're not really speaking of him a lot, but he's still producing double digits. So that's what I like about Henderson. So, and Mahomes, not as productive as what we're used to, but it's still Mahomes, and he still puts up some type of number, at least 20 plus. So it kind of sucks that we're not seeing. I think he had like 2 or 3 good games this season where it's like 40 plus points. So yeah, we're not getting those games. But redraft, no. Dynasty, hell yes. Lamb and Najee, they're just absolute number ones in my opinion. For the next, so it's redraft. All right, so I'll stop talking about Dynasty, getting me into deeper in that rabbit hole there. So if it's redraft, I did the trade, and my team looks like Cousins, Swift, Najee, Cup, Jefferson, Farmouth, Lamb, and the Pats D, and it's a 12-man league, and I'm 10-2. All right, so you're gonna lose Swift for this week, but you'll have Najee. Those are your starters, I'm assuming. All right, so here we go. Here we go. So you know what? I'm sorry, I skipped over this one. I have Hubbard for next week, and I'm starting Jamal Williams and Tony Pollard. Yeah, so let me get before I get to Cam, because I was helping Regier over here. I have Hubbard for the next week, which is fine. Good pickup there. And then starting Jamal Williams, which is good. Swift is definitely out, and Tony Pollard, yeah. So you're fine. All right, so let me go back to so start one. So Judy, Gage, Kirk. And some people are saying Judy because of KC. Some people are saying Kirk because of the slot position. Yeah. I would definitely put Kirk if, from what I know of, freaking Murray's coming back, and so is Hopkins. They're practicing. I expect them to be back. At least Murray for sure. But I still think that see, I was in this position where I had Dallas against KC. Okay, I had Amari Cooper stacked with freaking Dak, or was it CD Lamb? I can't remember, but it was that particular game where it was Dallas versus KC, and all of a sudden KC decided to show up. So that's what scares me, because if KC is starting to become KC defense with like what they're used to, they're starting to pick it up. So that's what scares me about Judy. I think Kirk is your safest bet. And especially if Murray's coming back this week. But the fact is that, they're playing Chicago. They can't stop crap for anything. I'm sorry. The run game they're good at. It's the receivers, they just let them fly. So I feel like Kirk would be a better option here. And engage against Tampa Bay. No, I can't with Atlanta. I just can't. I just really can't. Unless you have Cordell Patterson, Pitts. It just sucks. It really does. All right, so New England defense or Arizona this week. I like Arizona. I like Arizona. I think that if you put New England, there's that potential they might get blown out by Buffalo. There is that potential. So I just don't think that you'll see a blow up from either Justin Fields, who's out, or he's practicing, but I don't think he's going to play. Or Andy Dalton. Like, are we going to see that, what is it, 60, 70-yard bomb again that he threw to Mooney? Unlikely. Buda Baker's too good to let that happen. Even though he's been kind of quiet this season in IDP leagues, but no, I wouldn't put New England against Buffalo's defense. The Bills are, look, it's a divisional rivalry game. The Bills are going to come in hard. They're going to come in fast. They're going to be, same with New England. So it could be a very slow scoring game, which could probably be good for a redraft defense, or it could be really bad because they're going to blow them out. You don't know with Josh Allen. Josh Allen has been elite QB all season. I think he had 1 to 2 bad games this season. Overall, he's been phenomenal. He has too many weapons there. I would definitely put the Cardinals on the Chicago Bears there. So, and then I got Jamal Williams for this week. Yeah, good. That's a good pick. I would definitely keep that there. So okay. I'm just hoping that I get a text from Mark and saying, "Oh, I'm coming on," but no, I guess not. So that's my producer right there, Tank. Yeah, don't forget to give a like, and me and Mark wherever he's at, and just hit like subscribe here. I'll live and do this little cool thing that we just got here. Look, we also have it on our sleeper channel, and the Discord as well. So if you got any of those, go ahead and throw some love out there. We're getting into that a little bit more. I threw out some in sleeper, and it's just kind of slow. But I mean, we'll get it. I mean, if I get notifications, I'll start throwing more. You can throw more questions in there. Me, myself, Mark, or Brian, or even Marvin. One of us will pick it up and answer some of those questions as well. Whenever I don't know, you can't sleep at night or something. And speaking, if you can't sleep at night, there's we have some really good friends at the Get Right Fantasy Network. Those guys Friday nights, they are up until God knows when. So if you want to go hang out with them, uh, they're good guys. So all right, so this again, let's get this out of the way. It's already bugging me. All right, so all right, I should drop Jeff Wilson on sleeper. um, I can go pick him up. So huh. You should drop Jeff Wilson. Yes. Any sleeper guys you can pick up. Well, again, depends on who's left. Um, but I think if and from overall, if you're looking at from recent, uh Tevin Coleman could be Ty Johnson. Those guys look they're gonna be the main guys because what's his face? Michael Carter's on IR. So thank you, Braden, for reminding me that. Michael Carter is out this week, so if you want, you could probably get some of those guys in there, and get Tevin Coleman. Let's see, Jamal Williams. Obviously, he was probably one of the highest guys there you want to get. Also, Matt Breida. He could. It looks like the Bills are starting to use him. I'm still a little skeptical about it, but I mean, the Bills running backs like we didn't see Matt Breida all season until like as of 3 weeks ago. So, but they've been using him. So I'm usually if they're starting to use them, then yeah, fine, go ahead. But Matt Breida, I think Zach Moss is kind of weeded out. Don't fall for the Adrian Peterson. Don't go for that. Even though he went to Seattle and he's looking at Seattle, don't fall for that. I don't look Seattle just no, they just can't run. All right, so yeah, check those guys out. But maybe Mark Ingram. I'm just kind of looking at the list. Mark Ingram potentially is he starting today? He's gonna be the only back, but if that's it, this is if you're hurting, man. I just wouldn't start him against Dallas. With the Demarcus Lawrence coming back, moving Micah Parsons back into the linebacker position. He's probably going to be all over the place, and he's going to be on Mark Ingram like white on rice. So I wouldn't even bother with that. Amir Abdul, I don't think he's much. He could be a sleeper, but with CMC gone, Chuba Hubbard obviously is going to get the start, but Abdul could potentially play a role and split with Chuba Hubbard there. So check if those guys are there. Um, all those guys I mentioned, see if maybe they're there. But as of now, it's kind of running back. It's getting hard, and the closer we get into playoffs, the harder and harder it is because why they're getting banged up and you know Cook is down too, which is no surprise. He can't complete a season. Last season was probably the only healthiest season Cook has had. So yeah, check if any of those running backs are there. But yeah, definitely get rid of Jeff. He's I like him, but the amount of times that he plays and then has this immaculate game is not enough for me to trust him to be in my starting lineup. And I wouldn't even have him on my bench. Status on Gordon. Um, I did hear I think he's gonna play. Um, Let me look it up real quick, but I'm pretty sure from what I know of, he should be good to go. I just had a notification today about it, but I think he should be fine. Uh, Braden, where you at? Um, Braden usually keys in there on my trying to get Braden. You need to come on the show already. Just make it happen. He'll probably send in a text here, but as of now, he's on the fence about playing. So, I mean, it's Thursday, and then tomorrow the official report will come out. So probably or even as late as Saturday. So with Gordon potentially being out, uh, Williams is going to have a nice nice day there. So sorry I was working. Hey, as you should be. But it's all good. Yeah, it was a status on Gordon, but I think I pretty much it was 50-50. Like he's on the fence about it. So but I still think he might play just lighter roles, and we'll see more Williams than we will Gordon. So Cooper or CH. Which Cooper? Amari. I'm assuming Amari because I like unless you're saying Cooper, like Cooper Cup. That's the only trigger. But I mean, obviously, you're not going to bench Cooper Cup. You're not. But Amari or CEH. I would still go CEH on this one. Like I know you. Yeah, okay, Amari. Yeah, I figured. So what Amari they're saying today, earlier in the show, I kind of mentioned that Amari is going to be on a somewhat of a snap count. They're not going to let him go off, but if you desperately need him, um, you put him in. I would put CH. The workload that they're going to have him there, CH is going to be a lot higher than they're going to have Amari. Again, these reports come out and they say, oh yeah, like last week they said they were gonna let's take Tennessee for example. Tennessee last week they were like, oh yeah, we're gonna give most of the load to Foreman, and then how is it that Hilliard got all these points, like all these like reps? So things like that happen. But I'm saying right now, if that was me, I would lean CH over. Maybe you'll get PPR. If it's PPR, definitely get the dump pass from Mahomes. And let's see, you have Barkley, Madison, Jacobs on the bench as well. Um, okay, not bad. Why not Barkley? He's going to Miami. I mean, yeah, their defense is all right, but I like Barkley there. So why didn't they put up AK-41 and AB on IR? Dude, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, I don't know what I can't tell you that, man. I don't know. I'm still waiting on Swift to going on IR or out. I do these reports, man. Like I don't know. They say that you even though us we know we're waiting on it so we can adjust our lineups, but I mean it's what they do. Yeah, that I can't give you the I can't give you the doctor's notification on that, but we'll see. Hopefully by tomorrow and Saturday, we'll see. It's still Thursday, it's still somewhat early, right? Uh, but we only have one game this week. Last week we were Thanksgiving, we were blessed with three, so it was kind of fun. But so let's see. So should I pick up Hyde because of J Rob misses practice and uh, drop Matt? Um, no, no. I think J Rob is still gonna play. Hyde, even if when he does play, he just gives you mediocre work. Um, on top of that, I would not put Hyde against that LA defense. There's no way in hell I'll do that. If you're gonna pick him up just to steal him away from your opponent because he's hurting on running back, that could be a potential move. But I wouldn't put him in my starting lineup. I can't put Hyde in there. Hyde gives me 1 to 2 games a season. He's like a roadblock in fantasy football. He really is. He jumps from team to team every now and then. Hyde emerges from the woodwork and says, "Hey, I'm here because someone's injured." But this is why NFL teams can never put him as the main guy. Like he was in Seattle. He was like that guy. Okay, he's the only running back we have, so put him in. Like he doesn't put like awesome numbers, but I wouldn't. I still think J Rob plays. He missed a couple practice. A lot of guys missed a couple practice. I mean, Swift all seasons missed at least a practice a week, and he's like number 5, I think, right now as a rank. I haven't checked this week, but he's like number 5, number 3 top running back this season. So, yeah, these guys miss a couple days, and sometimes they give them rest days because it's their running backs. So, anyways, did I answer most of these? Let's see. Should I drop Jeff? Yeah, I got that one. So, yeah, I mean, so Sunday morning, if you're still contemplating on last minute moves, come join me. I will be here with the rest of the gang from the Nerd Huddle we do all kinds of crap. That's in my face. We do our Sundays football show in the morning spike at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. So just adjust your time zones wherever you're at. I mean, I'm in Arizona. That is, we're an hour behind. So that's 8:30 here, which I think would be 7:30 California. So if you wake up early and you want us to go see it, yeah, totally. We it's a crazy show. We all laugh and then take spike bets. But lately we've been busy, so it's been kind of like this. I'm alone today, so it happens. And then so yeah, but come join us on Sunday morning. We'll be here and answering questions last minute. So just picked up Tevin Coleman and dropped Jeff Wilson. All right, not bad. Good. That's a good move. Anyways, I I want to play, right? Anyway, I play Tevin Coleman over Pollard or Jamal. No, no, you're making moves. I like it though. I do like this, but no, I would not play Tevin Coleman over over Pollard or Jamal Williams. Definitely, and if anything of those three backs, I think Jamal Williams might actually have better fantasy numbers this week. New Orleans is pretty good at the run game. Yes, Tony Pollard might escape with a return here and there and get some valuable fantasy production, but Jamal Williams is going to be the only back that's relevant. Jamar Jefferson is the rookie there in Detroit. He might actually get himself involved, but Jamal Williams will get the majority of the role. Tony Pollard splits with Zeke, and Tevin Coleman's going to split with Ty Johnson. So Coleman's not bad. Definitely, it's if for this week, I think you might want to stash him for the week, take him away from your opponent or something. But again, Jamal Williams is going to be the main guy. I would put Jamal. I wouldn't put him over. Sorry, I would not put him over Jamal Williams or Pollard. I would leave him in. So uh, just only because I think Philadelphia, um, they sometimes they show up and sometimes they don't. And the Jets, they're not that great. So obviously their 3-8 record is proof of that. So yeah, it's crunch time. And we're all making desperate moves, and it happens. I get it. We're making moves to try and win. But bro, you're at what 10-2? You said that was you, right? I think you're fine. So next week will be tough since I'm getting Hubbard back. Okay, and I have Hubbard, Pollard, Jamal Williams with Cooks, Van Jefferson, and Waddle. So you're thinking who to play? Okay, that I see that. Uh, yeah, but that's good though because it's going to be stacked. So here's what you're going to do. Uh, who knows? Injuries might happen to these other teams or other players that they play with. Swift might actually not come back next week. It might be multiple weeks. So Jamal Williams might actually be still relevant for another week. And then Cooks, look, Brandon Cooks is the only guy that matters there in Houston. Van Jefferson, he's solid. I have not thought about next week yet, but you're being proactive. That's good. You want to look at your future lineups. Make sure you're getting your lineups. Look at what they're gonna play next, and for fantasy purposes, like during playoff season, those 3 weeks. And I really hope that in your league you're doing championship week 15, 16, 17. I would hate for you to play your first round in playoffs in week 14 when people have buys still. But yeah, so next week's gonna be hard. But if I were you in that situation, I would look up matchups. Look at matchups, see who's available and or not available. I'm sorry, who's playing who, because certain defenses let other guys just run by. Like I know I love starting my running backs against the Chargers, regardless of how good they are. Like the receivers, I don't play against Chargers, but I play running backs. They play a deep type defense, and they let the running backs run. They play that preventive defense, is what I'm trying to say. So the defense they hone in onto that running back in the middle of the pack. So which means that the running back's getting averaging like 4 to 5 yards a carry. So that's just something. That's just an example. All right. So just realized that Waddle is on bye, so I'm good for next week. Oh, for next week, yeah. Yeah. So and then look up matchups for the other guys, Hubbard, Pollard, and Williams. I mean, you could probably play all three and put Van Jefferson and Cooks into your receiver slot. So all those guys are startable. Again, next week I'm not exactly sure. I haven't jumped on that week yet. So again, I like that you're being proactive, but I take one week at a time. Especially in one of my leagues, my playoff started basically a week or two ago because I have 7 losses. So basically, I have to win from here on out, which is unlikely. I might end up losing here, but if you have 8 losses, you're pretty much done. Dynasty. If you're doing Dynasty, I definitely would stick around for the next couple of weeks. Wednesdays, we're gonna focus on IDP just because we're in season. Last week we actually introduced 2 top DNs that are coming into the league. Kayvon Thibodeau and Austin Hutchinson, Aiden Hutchinson. So one from Michigan, the other one from I can't even remember. Michigan and Oregon. Yeah. So yeah, top 2 DNs, and I would not be surprised if they go overall number 1 and overall number 2 right behind each other for sure. I'm hoping one of them ends up in Jacksonville. Geez, that D line would be sick if one of them ended up there. So, but that's IDP purposes. So if you watch that, definitely stick around Wednesdays. So just okay. So I read that one. So and I'm getting Aaron Rodgers back at QBs. So by Taysom Hill, yeah. So yeah, and then Aaron Rodgers, I would put Aaron Rodgers over Taysom Hill on a bad game, anyways, because I don't trust Taysom Hill over Aaron Rodgers. There's no way. So that's good. That's good. And I'm 4-8. Yes. Yeah. So you're at 8 wins. Ooh. Uh, okay. So if you're 4-8 in one of your leagues and it's a redraft, unless in that league 8 people advance to playoffs. I know some leagues do 6, some leagues do 4, but if you do 8, you're still playoff contention. I would hope they do 8. It's a redraft league. Dynasty is a little harder, so uh, typically you go half the league goes to the toilet bowl, half the league goes to the championship. So if that's a redraft league, only 5. Oh, so does one get the bye and then 4 advance? Oh, only 4. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. And you're 4-8. Uh unless there's a lot, the only way you're making it still if there's other 4-8s. Um because at 4-8, if a 12 man, you're probably sitting at third from the bottom. And if only 4 advance, you're not making it. But don't give up. Don't stop playing fantasy. All right, look. One, here's what it does. Not only do you get to uh, continue to watch football, right? Like don't stop watching football. It's a great sport. It's one of the greatest sports that America has. So or that we have. So whatever country, zone, area you're in, it's a great sport. Obviously, you're doing fantasy football because you love it. So, but keep watching, learn. You pick up some things that you think that okay. Well, I remember like next year when you draft, you're like, oh yeah, you know what? Towards the back end of the season, this guy did really good for me. But what you can do in your 4-8, here's what you can do. You can be that guy that disrupts someone from going into the fantasy playoffs. That's what you could do. I love doing that sometimes. It's great because next season you're like, hey, remember that time you could have made playoffs, but I beat you in like week 14 to 15 or 14 or 13. And because of that loss, you didn't make playoffs. You could rub it in their face. Yeah, they're going to throw, oh, you to make it either, but who cares? You were the reason. You were the bad dude. You were the reason why they didn't go. It's always fun to rub that in for future, and then they're gonna remember that too. You're like, oh yeah, he was the reason why I make it. So your second team, I'm assuming, right, is 9-3, and your third team is 6-6, and so 2 teams at 9-3, 3 teams at 6-6, and you're at 4-8, and this is a 5% chance of me. I don't pay attention to predictions. I know teams are 4-8 is low. Oh, you guys are all bunched up. These two next weeks, 13 and 14, will put you at 6 wins. Then eventually, what's going to happen? If you do win these next 2 weeks, you still could make it. Now, depending on how your league settings are, if it's based off the tiebreaker, if it's off record, you could easily make it. If it's off by points, I'm hoping your squad puts up some good points for. Look at the points for in your league settings. It'll show somewhere, whatever format you have. Your entire league will show like the record and points for, points against. If you're in one of the higher tiers of points for, you should be able to, if you win the next 2 weeks, because then I would imagine that these 6-6 teams will end up at either 6-8, 7-7, which puts you at 6-8 to the next 2 weeks. So we'll see. Maybe you could sneak one of these 6-8 teams out. But 4 teams going to that playoffs, it's gonna look bad. I don't know the chances of you making it, but like I said, be the bad guy. Be that guy that you can knock them out of the playoffs and rub it in their face for next season and off season, I guess. And that's why redraft is redraft is redraft. Dynasty, it's fantasy football season. It really is. Give it a try. So, anyways, that is basically all I have to say. I didn't really talk about all these other teams. We had a bunch of questions. It's just good. It's good. I like questions. Questions definitely engage me and keep me on my toes. So other than that, though, good luck tonight. Again, last final note. If you haven't done it already, look at your lineups. Be sure you take your Cowboys and your Saints out of the flex. Put them in their designated spots. Leave the flex for the later games in case of injuries that happen. You don't want to cancel out that flex. All right. That is it. Again, join me on Sunday as the entire Nerd Huddle comes together. Panda Grizzly, all them guys will probably. I don't know if we're all going to be here this week. It's been rough this week. It's usually just only 2 of us. But sometimes we get about 4 or 5 of us, and we just criticize each other's picks, and then we end up making spike drinks and bet against each other. It's a fun time. And yeah, other than that, thanks for watching. Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever the hell you're at. Good luck on your Week 13 lineups. I'll catch you guys later.
Getting hyped when I aim up, elevating that game up, stepping up to the competition. Only first place, and that's how I'm living. I'm winning till they digging up my grave, eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. When I watch me elevate.